Hi students, this is Mrs. Macy. Welcome to the first day of school, which is probably when you're watching this. Welcome to ninth grade. I'm really excited to have you in my class. So we're going to jump right in. I'm going to tell you about our first big assignment. This assignment will take you about 2 weeks. It will be due on September 6th, which is exactly in 2 weeks. And it's done all electronically. So for this, you are going to need to find access to some electronic device, whether it be your smartphone or tablet or computer at home or library computer. Really, any of those things works. Our first assignment has to do with the first book that we'll be reading. It's called Fahrenheit 451, and it's by Ray Bradbury, and it is one of my all-time favorite books. So I really am excited to talk about it with you and to hopefully help you love it as well. On the first day of school, I will post a blog post on my website to help you get there quicker. But right now, let me just show you on my website how to get to the text and how to annotate and all of those different things. So we're at my website, mrsmacy.weebly.com, and you're going to go over here to reading. And on the reading, you're going to scroll down until you see ninth grade reading and click on Learn More. This has all the different things we'll be reading, but the first one we're going to do is dystopian. So learn more of dystopian, and Fahrenheit 451 is the first thing on here. This first one, audiobook, takes you to Mr. Campbell's website. He has downloaded the audio version of the book, and it's awesome. However, it's not super helpful for this particular assignment, so if you want to listen to it, great. But for this assignment, you're actually going to have to go to full text. Okay, now full text gives you two options. We have the Google Docs text on the left, and we have the Fahrenheit 451 Word document text on the right. Now, I recommend doing all of this on the Google Docs. It will be easier for you if you have access to Google Docs, and it can translate through all of your different electronic devices. If you're working on it at school and then you continue it at home, you can, see what you've done already. If you don't have access to Google Docs at home, then what I would do is I would download the Word document at your at-home computer and do it that way. But I'm going to show you how to do the assignment on Google Docs, and it's the same thing on the Word document as well. Okay, so you're going to click on Google Docs, and it will open up the document that will show you the annotation, instructions, and it will also have the entire book on here. Okay. Now when you open this up, you'll notice that this is a view-only document, which means that you can't make changes to it, you can't highlight, you can't write anything. Really, it's not a super helpful version of the document. So you're going to want to come up here to File and make a copy, and this copy will go to you. So I want you to, in the title, I want you to put your initials. So mine would be M. Macy. So your first initial and then your last name, so that when you turn it in, you don't have to rename it. It already has your name on it. Okay. And then I'm going to save it to my drive. So this other document is now a fully functional Google Doc. You can do all of the normal things you would do on a document of writing, of highlighting, of underlining, all of those things. This first page, once it loads, is an explanation of the annotations. So we'll go over that next. Okay. So again, like this document, we have all of the abilities to type, to underline. If we go back to this document that we opened before, it's that view only. So this really isn't a very helpful document. We can just close that. And we can scroll down to look at the instructions. Now what I'm going to do is I've actually downloaded this to my computer. And so I'm able to have the instructions for the annotations on this side, and then on my Google Docs, I'm actually going to scroll down to the text. Okay. Now, annotation is also known as reading with your pen, and it is a super useful technique and strategy for understanding a text, for making connections to it. It's something that you use a ton in college. Most of my college books are just, they're written in, they have questions on the side, they're highlighted, underlined, I have definitions in them. I think it's awesome. I love it. And so I'm going to train you guys on how to annotate. This is really just a simple, easy way to start annotating. And so we're going to take these instructions and we're going to apply them to our Google Doc. So for example, we're going to underline unfamiliar words. Now, for example, you can already see I've underlined stolid. Okay, but maybe as I'm reading, I also realize, you know what, I don't really know what kerosene is. So what you do is you highlight the word, and then you come up here to the U, and you click on that, and it will automatically underline it. Okay, you're welcome to find the definition right away. I encourage you to, but I do want to know, okay, what words are kind of confusing to you as we go through. Now, one of the cool things about Google Docs is that it will track all of the things that you do when you change, and I want you to do that. So before you start annotating at all, you're going to come up here to this little black pencil, and you are going to change, right now it's on editing, you're going to change it to suggesting. Okay, and when you do that, all of the things that you do or change will pop up in green now, and they will leave like a little message on the side letting you and me know that you've made some changes. So for example, if I'm like, oh, I don't really know what fierce is, I'd highlight it, underline, and now it's underlined in green, and on the side it says Michael Mayans did an underline. So it will tell me everything I do. Okay. The next part, draw arrows to show things that are related, or ideas that are related. You can't really draw arrows on a Google Doc, so what you're going to do instead is you're going to highlight. So for example, in this first paragraph, they're talking a lot about fire. Okay, so it was a pleasure to burn. And as I read, I'm going to highlight things that I think help me better understand the fire that they're describing, or give me images, or just things that I feel like are related. So you highlight it here, and then you come up here to the text color, and instead of changing the text color, we're going to highlight it. I'm going to choose to highlight it yellow. Okay. And again, when I do that, it's yellow, but it also has the green, and it tells me on the side that I've changed it. So I'm going to do that with everything. Let's see, what other things help me know about fire? So blazing and burning. We're going to highlight that in yellow as well. Charcoal ruins. Just imagine like black and destroyed. Let's see. We'll shove a marshmallow on a stick in the furnace. So that, I mean, I can imagine, again, just this marshmallow disintegrating because of the fire. Okay, so all of those things have to do with fire in my mind, and I can highlight them to show that they have a connection. Now, if I were in a different paragraph and maybe we're now describing a person, and I think, oh, there are lots of things that are related in that, I would highlight, but I would probably change my color. So say I'm like, oh, he showered luxuriously. That's a funny way to shower, but so maybe I would change it to a different color so that I know, okay, we're talking about some other different connections. Okay, so that is how you're going to show connections in the text. Now the next part says number, steps, lists, or details. In Fahrenheit 451, we're not going to have a ton of lists and details, so don't really worry about numbering things. We're going to work on that a little bit more with annotating informational texts, so we'll do that later. The other ones are down here at the bottom, so jot down questions and confusions in the margins, label important ideas, note ideas that you disagree with in the margins that kind of seem a little bit shocking maybe, and then humorous ideas. Now, it's really easy to make comments in the margins. Basically, you, let's see, we're going to go back up to these Fahr, these Fahr references. So, let's see. Okay, so right here. He might wink at himself. Okay, I would highlight it, and then over here it has this little added comment. Okay, so maybe I have a question. So I'm going to put my little question mark, and then I'm going to put my question. So why did he wink? Is he proud of what he is doing? Okay, and then I'm going to write my comment. Okay. So that's what you would do. You would write questions. You would write things that, like I said, all these things, important ideas. Oh, that seems like something really important. Or maybe like a really powerful sentence. Mark it. Say, hey, I really like this sentence. Or this really helped me imagine what he's writing. Or whatever it is that you want to write. Now, one of the important things is do not mark what you think I want you to mark. Okay? I want you to be true to yourself in these annotations. I want you to mark things that stick out to you, that confuse you, that seem funny to you. And the cool thing about this is that your annotations are going to be the beginning of our classroom discussion. So, instead of me leading the discussion of, oh, this is a really powerful paragraph, I'm going to open it up to you guys and say, hey, what lines, what paragraphs, what images really stuck out to you, why? And we're going to start our discussion in that way. Which is very much like a a college literature course. So you can feel very proud of yourself for that. It's going to be awesome. Okay. By the end, I'm going to open this up again. By the end of this, you are going to have literally hundreds of annotations on the side. Okay. And it should be colorful. It should have questions. It should have comments. All of these different things to help us with that discussion. Like I said, it is going to take you about 2 weeks. This is due on September 6th, which gives you exactly 14 days from today. If you look here, there are 75 pages, which means 75 divided by 14 is about 6 pages a day. Normally reading, it would probably take you about 15-20 minutes just to read it. But with annotating, it's going to take you a bit longer. So I would bank on spending about 40-45 minutes a night working on this, reading it, annotating it, to give it a good shot. Enjoy the book. It's a lot of fun. It's really cool. We are going to, I'll tell you how to turn it in on the 6th. We'll turn it in through Google Classroom. But if you have any questions, let me know. My email is michael.macy@jordandistrict.org.